We arrived at the beach before dawn. And after about 20 minutes of kind of some basic yoga stretches, just to stretch us out, down the beach walks like from central casting. Picture in your mind's eye what comes to your mind when you think of like surfer god. This one happened to be 6'2", blonde, chiseled face, chiseled body, slouchy, like very like a Leonin type of movement. Um, Really looked like he was sent from central casting. And he was our surf instructor for the day. My sister and I look at each other and just smile, because what can you do? So he greets us and says, all right, we're going to pick our boards. We're going to practice popping up and we're going to get in the water. He's like, everyone is getting up today. So I want today to be a little bit about staying in momentum and keeping and building momentum and really kind of staying in the flow when you have it. Welcome to Body of Truth. I'm Rebecca Windsor. Body of Truth really was born when, after years of ignoring and suppressing my inner voice, my life as I knew it burnt to the ground and I was forced to rebuild from the ground up. And so at that point, I basically took the top off and leaned into that inner voice and my intuition. And what I found was, to make these big changes, to make them last, because these were really fundamental changes I needed to make, I needed to bring them up and through my physical body, creating that muscle memory of doing it again and again, so that these habits became actually new neural pathways and became part of my new physical reality. I do this in an effort to be free, and I want that for you too. I hope that this sparks a self-inquiry for you, or maybe just a signal to listen to your own inner voice. So after about, it felt like a minute of practicing popping up on the board on the beach, he's like, okay, let's go in the water. And I was like, all right, here we go. So we paddle out, and paddling out was also a little harder than I thought. I do stand-up paddleboarding all the time. And I was like, oh, I'm totally using this as a workout. This is fantastic. So we paddle out. This is on the East Coast in North Carolina. So the swells are not gigantic. It's like, actually, it's really good conditions, right? Small rollers. And so what we're going to do is we're all going to paddle out. We're going to turn around. We're going to paddle up to, there's instructors spaced out, him and his band of gorgeous ridiculousness. And so you paddle up to them there, and they tell you, they're going to give you a push, a shove, and you're going to go paddle, 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 pop up, right? So I don't want to go to Lord Surf Boy. I don't. I want to go to anybody but him. But of course, that's who's available. So I'm like, fuck this. This is not why I'm here. So I paddle up to him, and he's like, you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. So he gives me a shove. I paddle, paddle, paddle. I pop up. My feet are way too close together. I'm up, but I feel fling, flies right out from under me. I'm down. And because instead of stand-up paddleboard, you're attached to the board. But in this, you are attached to the board, but you have to let the board kind of fly away and do its thing, and that you kind of rescue your board instead of paddleboarding. So I kept trying to kind of like in the surf, like rescue my board, and I kept like getting knocked off my feet. So that is my surfing story. I got up 3 times, was never really able to ride a wave, and I would try it again, maybe. I'm not sure. But what I'm really talking about here is, first of all, allowing yourself to do something new, even though it's intimidating, and while people are watching. And I would also say that when you take action and you do one thing to put that momentum machine into action, you will see that things start to open up, that you can keep being in the flow. When you are in the flow, first of all, you know it. You can feel your body just feels like it's working right. You're comfortable in production, like you're not stilted or stopped or hunched over your desk. You can feel the words come out. You can feel the productivity come. You're not shoving that wall. You're not shoving that boulder up the hill quite as much. So, launching this channel has been a real challenge. It's been me just jumping off into something that I didn't know what I was doing, but letting myself feel that impetus and that push to want to share, to want to contribute. And when I get a response that it helped or it opened their eyes or it shifted their perspective, that is everything. That is why I am here. And because I took this action, I'm finding other things in my life are starting to open and blossom too. So what I'm saying is, if you have something in front of you that you have been holding back from a little bit, I urge you to jump off that cliff. Tell that person how you feel, heartfelt and open. Start that project that you really want to do, or see that project through that you know you believe in. Bring it to a place of fruition and birth it through into the world. I've talked before about, there is a call right now for people that feel the call to free will to stand up. Heed that call. If you are being called to create, do not allow that critic or what you think people might say. Go for it. The world needs it. It needs your voice. It needs your contribution now more than ever, especially if it is a soulful contribution. So again, my offer to you today is stay in the flow as long as you can. Use that energy from one thing to build to the next thing, and let yourself flower. And you will be shocked at what occurs. Give yourself the permission to go for it. I don't think I've said anything new here, but maybe today is the day that you were supposed to hear it. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, please subscribe, click the bell so you get notified of my uploads. Share it if you think someone might benefit, or if today is the day you think someone else is supposed to hear this. Sign up for my newsletter so I can be even more explicit than I am here. If you want to continue these conversations, but you want a place of safety and privacy to do them in, I urge you to subscribe to the newsletter, where you'll be invited to be part of the private Facebook group so we can really dig into the dialogue. That's really what I want, is to provide that safe place for you to start these types of inquiries. And I upload every day, and I will see you all tomorrow.